Imagine if the armor you wore in Star Citizen could make or break your success. What if the difference between surviving a mission and barely making it out depended on the right choice of gear? Today we're breaking down all of the details from the Dress to Kill panel at CitizenCon 2024, where armor and clothing specializations took the spotlight and could be about to change everything. This panel had some huge news that'll make armor and clothing more than just a fashion statement. I'm going to be pretty excited to see these changes finally roll in, once they actually do, especially since for so long armor has been just a stylistic choice. So let's dig into what's coming and what it could mean for you and your adventures in the verse. So CIG kicked off the panel by emphasizing that Star Citizen's new system of specialization is meant to bring more purpose to our armor and clothing. Up until now, picking armor was pretty much about looking cool or being tanky, but that's all set to change. With specialization, we'll get the chance to mix and match gear, or go all in on a specific set to really hone in on a particular role or boost specific abilities. And I love this approach. For the first time, armor will go beyond visuals, adding genuine utility and giving players the ability to optimize for specific tasks. Whether you want to specialize for combat, stealth, or some kind of hybrid role, you'll be able to do it in a way that fits your playstyle and the task at hand. This system opens up a level of creativity that we haven't really seen yet with gear. Now they introduced something they're calling Starwear. Original, I know. But it's basically the system that allows you to layer armor and clothing together, letting you focus on both functionality and fashion. You can mix and match pieces to get exactly what you want in terms of looks and stats. So yes, you can finally put that favorite jacket over your undersuit or go sleeveless under your armor, if that's your thing. This approach really speaks to the creativity that CIG wants players to have. Imagine the unique combos and looks people will come up with that will also give them tactical advantages. It's not just about aesthetics, it's about building the perfect loadout. Of course, there will still be some restrictions. You won't be able to go into EVA without a space-worthy undersuit, so there's still an element of practicality. Now, if you're excited about this as much as I am and want to stay up to date on all things Star Citizen, make sure to subscribe. I cover everything from gameplay mechanics to new features, so you won't miss any of the updates on how this will evolve. But let's jump back into it. Let's get into the specific roles they showcased. Each one brings something unique to the table, and we can already see how they're adding depth to existing gameplay loops. First up, we have the leader. This role is interesting because it's designed to let players blend into cities and stations, staying low profile. What's even more intriguing is that the leader's gear has magnetic plates, which means players can holster weapons while in clothing rather than in full armor. CIG hinted that this could allow players to conceal small weapons in restricted areas. So we might start seeing some big changes in landing zones and armistice zones to account for players sneaking gear past security. This could bring a lot more strategy to areas we used to think of as safe, and add the potential for covert ops right under the noses of security. Then we have the pilot and the driver. These are high mobility setups specifically designed for those who live for ship combat and racing. The pilot's helmet even projects HUD elements like ship status and shields directly onto the visor, so no more glancing down at the MFDs during intense combat. The driver's suit is streamlined for G-force resistance, perfect for high-speed races where every millisecond counts. These roles keep you light, mobile, and focused on your craft. On the heavier side of things, we've got the tank. This one is designed to make you feel like you're a walking fortress, with insane protection and resistance to stagger, flinch, and knockdown. If you're in full heavy combat armor, you're basically immune to being knocked down by small arms fire. The downside? Your movement speed and stamina take a massive hit. You'll lose EVA capabilities without extra gear, so tanks will have to be a bit more strategic in how they move around. It's all about picking the right moments to charge in, knowing you can take a beating but might be slower to escape if things go south. The tracker is like a bounty hunter's dream loadout. The suit has the best scanning capabilities in the game, great for tracking down targets. It's noisy though, so you'll definitely be noticed, but it's perfect for when you need to find someone who's hiding. You'll also get extra storage for deployables, making it a solid choice for capturing or tracking down high-value bounties. Lastly, we've got the sniper stealth role, which focuses on light armor for max speed and minimal radar emissions. If you're going full stealth, this is your setup. Complete with low emissions and high speed, this armor is ideal for getting in, taking out a target, and disappearing before anyone knows you're there. But if you get caught in a full-on firefight, you're out of luck in this gear. It's definitely better for sneaky approaches. And of course, there's that one friend, you know the one. The guy who ignores all strategy, slaps on whatever armor looks cool, and somehow makes it work. They might only play for 30 minutes a week, but they'll show up in mismatched pieces that still somehow gets the job done. Now, the reason they acknowledge this character archetype in the panel is that they're showing that we'll have all of the freedom to mix and match whatever pieces we want to create the look or functionality that suits us best, whether we're fully min-maxed or just out having fun with our gear. As exciting as these specializations are, I'd love to see some attention on roles for other gameplay loops. Exploration armor, for example, could add bonuses for oxygen supply or environmental scanning, perfect for long journeys. Mining armor could come with protection against hazardous materials and space for extra tools, while salvage armor could boost tool efficiency or reduce damage from scrap. Then there's cargo hauling armor, which could focus on inventory management or heavy lifting durability, and repair technician armor, which might offer better mobility and storage for repair tools. Now, these aren't the actual bonuses I expect to see, just some examples. These kinds of armor could really flesh out Star Citizen's non-combat gameplay, giving players a reason to invest in gear suited for their chosen profession. Now, utility armor has been hinted at, but we haven't seen anything about it yet. But I'll be excited to see how it will fit into the bigger picture. Now, speaking of customizing, we also heard about attachable items like pouches or pockets, which were teased during CitizenCon last year. If these make it into the game, they could be a game changer for utility roles, especially if they come with meaningful additions like extra inventory space or specialized compartments for specific tools. Imagine your repair armor with quick access slots for tools, or a mining suit with added storage for crystals. It's all about making sure the gear matches the job. Of course, the big question everyone's asking is, when is all this coming? Well, we heard Chris Roberts mention that other features like monster hunting and base building might be coming in the next 12 to 18 months, which makes me wonder if specialized armor might follow the same timeline. Or could this be something that we see closer to 1.0's release? While CitizenCon this year was less about hyping up the immediate future and more about the game's vision, I think a lot of us still left with more questions than answers. Hopefully we'll start to get a clearer picture as development progresses. Now let's talk about the big one, the Valacar. It's finally happening after it became a community meme from its reveal back in 2016. It's amazing to see the infamous sandworm making its way into Star Citizen. And it's not just as a giant target, but with relevance in crafting. When you take it down, you can collect its teeth and pearls for crafting, which is an awesome way to make this feel like a real hunt with valuable rewards. I am curious though how this hunt will be structured. Will it be an open world event where players can jump in or even grief the hunt? Or will it be instance for groups in the future who've taken on the mission? Either way, this could be a blast, but I think that the decision will impact how people approach it. It'd be great if it were set up in a way that keeps it fair for everyone involved without risking interference from players looking to disrupt the experience. Now, the Fauna Matrix was also pretty incredible to see. Finally getting a look at various creature concepts gives me a lot of hope for the future. It's one thing to have ships and NPCs around, but having a rich array of fauna could make the verse feel more alive. The idea of a universe teeming with creatures, each with unique behaviors and ecosystems, adds that living, breathing quality that we've all been hoping for. In a few years, if CIG can pull this off, every journey could feel fresh, with new creatures and life forms to discover or avoid. Imagine landing on a planet teeming with alien wildlife, or navigating biomes filled with creatures adapted to specific environments. The Fauna Matrix has massive potential to bring the universe to life in a way that we've only seen glimpses of so far. All in all, CitizenCon this year has given us a more realistic view of Star Citizen's future. Instead of just hype, we're getting more of a solid roadmap, with things like specializations, fauna, and more practical features that ground the game in its long-term vision. It's exciting to see the direction they're aiming for, but like I said, it leaves us with plenty of questions. Will we really see some of these features in the next 12 to 18 months? Or are we looking closer at 1.0? And what other roles or specializations could be added down the line? So I want to hear from you. Which of these roles are you most excited to try out? Are you all about the heavy tank armor, or are you more into stealthy tactics with the sniper loadout? Or maybe you're like me, hoping for that specialized set that would cater to roles outside of combat, like mining or exploration. If you're enjoying these deep dives and want to support the channel further, consider joining as a member. Members get exclusive perks, including early access to certain videos, recognition in all of my videos, and access to members-only chat in my Discord. And if you haven't already, check out my last video of Combat in the Verse, where I talk about the future of atmospheric combat in Star Citizen. Thank you for watching. Fly safe, pilots, and I'll see you in the verse. Havoc out.